is task 49, apply modified Robert Jones. So I have my dog here being restrained by my handler. We've got her in lateral recumbency with the affected leg facing up on the top here. Just off to the side I've got a tray of supplies. I've got my porous tape and my tongue depressor. This is for making the stirrups, which then help to hold the bandage on. I've actually gone ahead and pre-cut my stirrups. I've got 2 pieces of tape just attached to the side of my tray here. Then our first layer is going to be the soft layer. So this is my roll of cast padding, just provides nice cushion support for the leg. I then have my cling wrap. So this is my stretchy gauze, which forms our second layer and holds our soft layer in place and also offers support to the leg. And then our outer layer, which is our vet wrap layer. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull some of this off, and as you can tell, vet wrap sticks to itself. So when we're applying the bandage, if we don't first stretch it out and unroll it and then re-roll it back on ourselves, it can sometimes mean we put too much tension on the bandage, which is something that we definitely want to avoid. So if when placing a Robert Jones, if we had any open wounds or lacerations, we'd go ahead and use a non-adhesive dressing on those first. Today we don't actually have any wounds, so we're just going to go ahead and place our dressing. So I'm going to take one of my stirrups, and today we're going to bandage up just past the carpus. So I'm going to take my tape, I'm going to do sticky side down. We're going to go ahead and place that tape just above the carpus on the very top side of the dog's leg, making sure that's nicely stuck down. I'm going to take my tongue depressor and just place that on the excess tape, just to prevent it sticking to the other stirrup when we place that on the underside of the leg. So again, taking my other stirrup, we're going to place that in the same position, this time on the underneath of the dog's leg. There we go, making sure we've got that stuck down nicely, and then again on the tongue depressor, just to prevent those 2 pieces sticking together after we've placed the bandage. So then I'm going to go ahead and take my soft cast padding, which is going to form our first layer. I'm going to start distally, so we're going to start by wrapping the foot. The 2 middle toes we're going to leave exposed. This will just help us to monitor the tightness of the bandage. So going ahead, good girl, and starting to wrap the leg and make sure the leg is extended. So while we're wrapping with the cast padding, we're making sure that 50% of the last wrap is covered by the new wrap. This gives us good coverage and allows good tension. Just making sure there that our stirrup is stuck down with no creases in it to avoid irritation to the leg. And you can carry on wrapping. We're going to go up above the carpus, again making sure we've got that 50% coverage, and then just checking that we're not wrapping too tight. I can insert a finger just between the cast padding and the leg, so we know we've got good tension. I'm going to work back down the leg, again making sure to stick with that 50% rule. There we go. And down to the bottom of the leg, and go ahead and just tear that excess off, place that to one side, and then starting with our gauze, which is going to be our second layer. So again, starting distally, making sure hold that first piece in place, wrapping over, again 50% coverage, making sure that we're not pulling the gauze too tight. We want a nice firm pressure, but we don't want to actually apply any tension while we're wrapping the legs. We don't want to make that too tight. So again, reaching the top, just checking in that our bandage is nicely wrapped but not too tight on the legs. So again, I can get one finger easily in there. And going back down, again 50% coverage. Down to the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and just use our scissors just to cut that excess off, taking care obviously not to cut the dog or to injure our handler. And then I'm going to now go ahead and place these stirrups. So with our, just going to go ahead and just drop my camera down just a little bit. So I'm now going to place these stirrups, so pulling them apart, and obviously that tongue depressors nicely make sure that we didn't stick those two pieces of tape together. And then we're going to twist the bottom of the tape so the sticky side is on the leg, and we're going to go up and stick that to the bandage. There's a little bit of excess tape there, but we will trim that off at the end. And then the same on the other side, twisting that tape so the sticky side is on the bandage. And the purpose of these stirrups is to keep the bandage in place and prevent it from slipping down. So now I can go ahead and take my final layer, which is my vet wrap, and as I already showed you, we unstuck it and released the tension. So we're going to go ahead and wrap the leg. So again, making sure to do that 50% coverage, making sure as well that we haven't got any creases in our vet wrap that could go ahead and irritate the leg. So 50%. And then while we're wrapping the leg, it's important to make sure the leg is in a good natural position. We don't want to wrap the leg in an unnatural position that would be uncomfortable for the dog. So we're at the top there, we're just again checking the tension on our bandage, so that feels good. We can get a finger in on the bandage so we know that it's not too tight, and then working back down the leg again using that 50% rule, and we can go ahead and just cut off the excess vet wrap. Stick that down. Okay, so our bandage is nicely in place. I'm just going to get rid of just a little bit of the cast padding sticking out the bottom there. So as you can see, we left these two middle toes exposed. This is so we can check the tightness of the bandage. We're monitoring the toes for any swelling, which would indicate the bandage is too tight. Also, should the toes become cold, we would know the bandage is too tight. And we're also, if the toes became hot, we would know there was potentially a problem underneath the bandage with the injury, and we could get that checked out. Leaving the toes clear also allows the owners to monitor the bandage while the dog is at home in between bandage checks. So I'm just going to go ahead and just cut those excess stirrups off there. So again, making sure not to cut the dog with the scissors. Alright, so our bandage is nicely in place, we know it's not too tight, and we're done with that for today.